Hey, so apparently maybe somebody in your family has passed away. I'm sorry to hear that. I'm sorry for your loss, really. So this is about what do you do now? Well, unless the person who's deceased has all their assets in a trust, which then that essentially means somebody else already owns all their assets, real estate and everything, then unless that's the case, you are going to be going through probate court. And that's irregardless of whether or not you have a will. You have a will, you go through probate court. You don't have a will, you still go through probate court because the probate judge, who's a circuit court judge, is going to decide how things get split up to make sure it's done fairly, legally. If there's a will, how to disperse assets in accordance with what the deceased person wanted. Now, the court, first of all, is going to appoint what's called a personal representative. That is somebody's typically in the family, but somebody who's then in charge of making sure everything's done fairly and correctly. And the first thing they're going to do is pay off any debts or bills, funeral expenses, any debts that the deceased person has incurred have got to be paid off first. Now, the judge usually gives, I think it's about 60 days for the personal representative to get all that together. And then they begin talking about how they're going to disperse the assets. Now, you can list the house for sale. You can get it under contract. But at the end, it's going to be the judge who decides whether or not that contract is good and valid. He wants to make sure that nothing's funny is going on. That somebody didn't purposely sell the house real cheap for some personal financial gain. And this can take 6 months. So before everything's done. So that's what happens. The personal representative takes care of everything. Judge makes sure it's all done fairly. Now, probably the most important is you really do need to get an attorney to help you navigate through this. The attorney who's familiar with probate court knows how to do this, and most attorneys can do this. But he's going to make sure that you'll do things in a way the judge is going to like. He'll be happy with it, and everything's done fairly and equitably. So get a probate attorney, begin to make a list of assets, figure out who you want to be the personal representative of the deceased, figure out what debts need to be paid, and then normally within about 6 months, you can then disperse of assets, property, whatever. So anyway, I'm a certified probate specialist. If you have any other questions, feel free to let me know, and I'll be glad to help you in any way that I can. And again, sorry about your loss, and see you later. Bye.
Oh, and by the way, when somebody passes, don't be going to the house and just taking stuff because you think they would want you to have it. You're really supposed to let all that go through probate court. Don't be doing that.